Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We've come far from the days of the blackboard and whiteboard. Perhaps the day when laptops and tablets will also be left behind is approaching. Today, I would like to share my thoughts on how the field of education has evolved and how technology is playing a pivotal role in changing the teaching and learning landscape. From the outset, I would like to clarify that I'm no expert on education, but merely a student studying at GEMS World Academy Dubai, or as we like to call it, GWA. So my thoughts are based on my own personal experience and the perception of change I've witnessed and participated in. I started my educational journey in India at a school called Casa Montessori in Mumbai. I have memories of there being blackboards in the classroom, along with softboards with charts and photos pinned up on them. I remember there being no worse sound than a piece of chalk squeaking against a blackboard. If you focus, you can probably still imagine hearing that very sound. Fast forward 15 years to GWA, our classrooms have smart boards, projectors, whiteboards, which come with far quieter markers. My parents said they used to write a lot when in school, and even at university. They used pens and papers to take notes. Well, we too take a lot of notes, but we're progressing to storing them electronically on our iPads and laptops. The environment in which students study has gone through a sea of change thanks to the advancements of technology. The field of education has benefited tremendously due to it, but I'm also aware that not all students around the world are privileged to have access to technology the way we do at GWA. According to an article released by UNICEF in 2020, 2/3 of the world's school-age children have no internet access at home. However, it is also true that the reach of technological advancements such as the internet has started to spread to more remote areas, helping a lot more students get access to the education they so deserve. Now, I would like to take a step back and walk you through the evolution of technology in education. In the early 1900s, schools were predominantly based in one room. The teacher would stand at the front and dictate information to the students. The classes ranged from the 1st to 8th grade, with the youngest students sat at the front. In the early 1930s, we got the overhead projector. It was introduced into the classroom and it gained popularity due to having the ability to share information with a large group of students. In the 1960s, we saw the whiteboard enter the classroom to replace the blackboard. And in the 1980s, we saw the computer make an entrance. Back then, they were predominantly large desktops. However, over time, we've adapted to smaller handheld devices, such as our laptops and tablets. And in 1991, we saw the smartboard enter the classroom. It is still used to this very day and is an extremely useful piece of technology. So we started with oral education, where the teacher used to speak to students in a school, and they learned through recitation and repetition. From there, we progressed to slate and chalk writing. The teacher had a blackboard at the front of the classroom, which they used to teach students. Over time, the blackboard and chalk got replaced by the whiteboard and erasable pen. Now we also have smartboards in the classroom. In fact, the nature of the classroom has also undergone change. Earlier, a classroom was where the students and teacher were physically located. It would usually be in a school. However, during the pandemic, we had remote learning take off in a big way. Now the teacher could be in the same room, or even in another room, or even in another city or country. Through virtual classrooms, students and teachers came together for a lesson. This amazing flexibility is making education accessible to students who do not have the option of physically attending school, like during the global COVID pandemic in 2020, but also more recently during the Ukraine-Russia conflict. The tools which students used to study have also evolved over time. Earlier students used an abacus, a tool that has beads that slide along a series of wires or rods for math. It is the ancestor to the modern digital calculator. Nowadays, there are multiple types of calculator, including basic, scientific, and graphing. These are just a few examples of the tools students have access to nowadays. Today, in 2023, we're in the midst of a new technological revolution driven by artificial intelligence. AI has the power to fundamentally transform how we learn and teach by offering personalized, adaptive learning experiences that are tailored to each individual student. Imagine a classroom where each student has a virtual tutor, customized to their learning style, pace, and interest. This tutor could provide instant feedback, adjust the difficulty level of task, and even recognize when a student is struggling and offer additional support. And all of this could be taking place in virtual reality, far from any classroom. AI-powered tools can also help teachers save time and energy by automating routine tasks such as grading tests and assessing students' understanding of a task. This frees up teachers to focus on what they do best, fostering creativity, critical thinking, and collaboration among their students. Of course, like any technology, AI comes with its own set of challenges and potential drawbacks. One of the drawbacks for teachers teaching in schools all around the world is that students are using ChatGPT and other AI-powered tools to complete assignments such as essays. This is because AI-powered tools such as ChatGPT can write a full essay without the student putting in too much time or effort. However, it can become extremely detrimental if students lose the ability to write, and more specifically, think for themselves. And in fact, something similar happened to me when I got my first computer. I relied solely on the spell check feature, which was built into Google Docs and Word, that I ended up forgetting how to spell simple words. I became extremely careless about typing since mentally I always knew that I could use the spell check. It wasn't until I entered grade 11 that I made an effort to improve my spelling so that it wouldn't hurt me as much when it came to writing essays out by hand. In fact, while writing the script for this TED Talk, in the last 3 lines alone, I had over 15 typos, which is far more than anyone should be making. Another drawback of more technology in education that affects the student more than the teacher would be the loss of personal connection you receive when communicating with a mentor. While technology improves the educational experience, it should not be considered a substitute for personal interaction. Relying too much on these machines to teach can lead to educational oversight, especially for younger groups of students who may not have enough social experience yet. So we must be careful to ensure that these tools are used ethically, responsibly, so that they don't exacerbate existing inequalities in our educational system. Ultimately, though, the potential benefits of AI in education are too great to ignore. By leveraging the power of artificial intelligence, we can create a more personalized, adaptive, and engaging learning experience for all students. So as we look back on the evolution of technology in education, from Blackboards to AI, let's remember that technology is not a replacement for great teaching, but rather a tool that can help us all achieve our full potential by unlocking new opportunities for learning, growth, and discovery. Thank you so much.